Welcome to the Loner Ranger Radio Show. You got Bruce Woodburn, Cross Country Mortgage. And I'll tell you what, I think that God has been firing a laser beam down at us these days. It is so doggone hot out there. However, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be in Florida. What a great state. You know, we've got a lot of things happening here in Florida. We've got a lot of things happening across the nation right now that are very, very positive for the real estate market. So I want to get into that on this show today. And there's some other things that I want to discuss that are big opportunities for those of you that may or may not want to buy a home. But even if you already own a home, you're going to know somebody that wants to know about this program that's coming out on Monday, August 18th. It's called Hometown Heroes. Hometown Heroes is a great down payment assistance program that can give a first-time home buyer up to 5% of the loan amount, up to $35,000, minimum $10,000 to help buy a home. Now, what more could you ask for? I'm going to go into the details on that in just a minute on who qualifies for it. Then I want to talk about this Fed meeting that's coming up in September 16th and 17th. I do believe that the Fed's going to probably drop the Fed rate. It's going to be somewhere between 1/4 point. That's my prediction. I do believe, and I'm predicting, and you can tell your friends that the Loner Ranger told you, I'm predicting a potential of 3 Fed cuts before the end of the year. You heard me, 3 Fed cuts. They're getting so much pressure. You got Jerome Powell getting pressure. You got Bowman, you got Waller, all of them after Powell, including Trump, after Powell to drop the Fed rate. I think he's finally gotten the message. He's a little slow when it comes to really reacting. He was slow when it came to increasing interest rates. He's slow when it comes to decreasing interest rates. Now, listen, you don't want knee-jerk reactions on this. It doesn't help. You've got to let the drop or the increase in rate settle. It takes a couple of months before that happens. So I do believe that interest rates are going to get better. However, I want you to be aware of this. If you look at a pattern of when the Fed cuts the Fed rate, when are the better rates? When he cuts it? Right after they cut it? No, they happen before the event because Wall Street already anticipates what they're going to drop it by. They already know. Come on, they're smarter than that. So they start to drop the rates leading up to the meeting. Now, if Wall Street is predicting 1/4 point cut and he drops it a half, then you'll see a little bit more of a benefit post the announcement. Otherwise, you're likely going to see a bit of an increase. It'll increase for a couple of weeks, then it'll start to settle back down again. Then I think at our following Fed meeting, which would be in October and December, you're going to see another 1/4 to 1/2 point cut. So I think we're into 3 cuts. So we're going to talk about who will benefit from that. If you're buying, should you buy now or should you wait? If you're refinancing, should you refinance now or should you wait? So I'm going to cover all those things. But before we get into too much, I want to talk a little bit about Hometown Heroes for all of you that are listening, because like I said, even if you already own a home, help me help some people. This program won't last long. It will not last long. So let's go into the details. So the Hometown Heroes is a state-funded program. We got $50 million that DeSantis signed off on, and there is strict occupational requirements. Now, a couple of basics. First of all, you have to work full-time. Secondly, you have to be a first-time home buyer. But if you are married and you're a first-time home buyer, but your spouse isn't, and we don't need your spouse to qualify, you may still qualify as a first-time home buyer. This program also allows you to have a non-occupying cosigner. So let's just say you're a nurse. You make $60,000 a year, but you want to buy a house and you really needed to make $80,000 to qualify for the house. But mom and dad who live in New Jersey or any state for that matter, they already own a home. Can they cosign? Yes, they can on Hometown Heroes. It's the only down payment assistance program that allows it. So it gives you a great deal of flexibility. You can make up to $144,000 a year. Most programs cut you at about $65,000 a year in income. This goes way up. You're going to get a minimum of $10,000 towards your closing costs or your down payment, up to $35,000. So here's what I suggest. Anyone you know that's renting, anyone having a baby, anyone that needs to buy a home, anyone renting, anyone got a job promotion, you have them call me immediately at 407-706-3313. Now, this program opens up on Monday. It will not last long. So, Tampa Bay, call me at 813-213-4009. That's 813-213-4009. Or go to webringyouhome.com and get your application made right away. We can do conventional, FHA, or VA loans. They're all available for you. You can do these type of loans. If you're a veteran, you have special features available on this program. If you're active military, you have special features available on this program. But there are some idiosyncrasies that are a little weird. So you need a lender that's super familiar. I've been teaching Hometown Heroes classes since the program came out. I know this program inside and out. Most real estate agents and most lenders, they'll tell you they know it, but they don't. So don't trust your money with just anyone. And here's the thing. The rates are the same for every lender, for every client. They don't differ. What your credit score is, they're set by Hometown Heroes for FHA, and they're set for conventional. So if you want one of these programs, there are preferred interest rates. Now, who can qualify? I'm going to go into some basic categories. If you're in nursing, you will qualify. Advanced practice registered nurse, APRNs are qualified. Clinical nurses, licensed practical nurses, LPNs, nurse anesthetist, nurse midwife, nurse assistant, nurse technician, registered nurse. Pretty good, huh? Then you got your medical technicians, anesthesia support technician, cardiology technician, clinical technician, computer tomography technician, emergency room tech, laboratory tech, music tech. How do you like that? A neurology technician, nuclear medicine technician, monitor technician, orthopedic technician, pharmacy technician, radiation technician, rehabilitation technician, sonographer, surgical technician, and x-ray technicians. Those are the medical technicians. Then you got medical therapists. You have audiology, occupational, physical therapy, respiratory, speech therapy, behavioral health. You've got case managers, mental health specialists, mental health therapist, psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, then doctors, anesthesiologists, anesthesiology assistants, dentists, nuclear pharmacists, pharmacy technician, physicians, and physicians assistants. Pretty amazing. Other healthcare workers, dental assistant, dental hygienist, medical assistants, patient care assistants, patient transporters, and phlebotomists qualify for this. How do you like that? Now, remember, you have to be full-time working for a Florida-based company, not an out-of-state, not an online company, full-time Florida-based company. Then you've got school staff members, assistant principal, career specialist, classroom teachers, food service, cafeteria staff, librarians, maintenance man qualifies for this, janitor qualifies for this, the principal, the school counselors, the school psychologist, the social workers, teachers aide. So you got a lot of broad occupations qualify for that. Then you got your first responders, certified emergency technicians, certified paramedics, and firefighters. So your EMTs, your paramedics and firefighters all qualify for this program. Then safety workers, you've got 911 public safety communicators. So that's like a 911 operator or dispatch, correctional officers, correctional probation officers, juvenile detention officers, juvenile probation officers, and any sworn law enforcement officer, local, state, or federal. Pretty amazing stuff. Then you got court employees, assistant state attorney, assistant public defender, attorney, even for Supreme Court or any of the local courts. Then you have court clerks and court stenographers, all qualify for this program. Then you've got childcare workers. So listen, I mean, childcare workers, come on, you guys need the help more than anybody. Any worker at a licensed childcare facility, licensed childcare facility, any worker at a licensed or registered home daycare qualifies for it. That's really a broad spectrum. And then for military, it's very specific. Okay. If you are active military, you qualify for this and you don't have to be a first time home buyer. Even National Guard qualifies. But if you're a veteran and you're out of the military, the only way you can qualify for Hometown Heroes is you are a full-time employee with a Florida-based company. So if you're retired military, you can use your VA, but you also have to be employed full-time in a Florida-based company. So we're going to cover a lot more on Hometown Heroes, but you will want to get your application made right away because it won't last. I'm telling you, we're going to start off with a soft pull. I'm going to convert it to a hard credit pull when I connect you with a real estate agent. Now, if you already have a real estate agent, that's fine. Use who anybody you want. I don't care. But if you want to use my Lone Ranger Real Estate Rebate Program, you're going to get more money back in your pocket. So here's the deal. I will assign you with a great real estate agent that knows Hometown Heroes and is quite familiar and is a great negotiator to help you not only negotiate the transaction that you're purchasing, but negotiate additional closing costs from the seller. That real estate agent does not pay me to refer you to them. You know who they pay? That's right. They pay you. They give you up to 25% of their buy side commission when you use my Lone Ranger Real Estate Rebate. So now you get Hometown Heroes, you get the rebate back from the realtor, and the realtor is going to negotiate closing costs for you. Tampa Bay, 813-213-4009. Write that down. Tampa Bay, 813-213-4009, or Orlando, 407-706-3313, 407-706-3313, or get your application made right now. Okay. You got the weekend, you got today to do it, you got all day to do it, but don't dilly-dally. And if you're listening to this, please contact the people that you love that need this program. They may not be able to buy without it. And I'm here to help guide you in the right direction, not only with the real estate agent, but with the loan, with every aspect of it. We know this program inside and out. And believe me, you better know the program or you'll get people caught up in it. And you can get yourself into hot water and actually lose money if you don't navigate this thing correctly. So you want an expert, you call the Lone Ranger. You know how to reach me or go to webringyouhome.com. When we get back from the next break, I want to talk a little bit more to my friends at Minneapolis Homes. So I closed the very first 3D printed house in the state of Florida. 3D on my construction perm program. Nobody else would touch it. It was great. You know what the only problem was? These guys build a home so fast that the permits can't keep up with them. The county can't keep up with it coming out there to reinspect. So if you want, you've got to stay with me. Don't change the channel. I'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Lone Ranger radio show, and I will be introducing my friends from Minneapolis. You won't want to miss out on this. All you realtors, pay close attention to it as well. And then on the third and final break, I want to talk a little bit, after the third or final break, if I can speak properly, I want to talk to you a little bit more about who should refinance, who shouldn't, and how to get on my VIP rate watch list for refinancing. 407-706-3313 or 813-213-4009 or webringyouhome.com. My name is Bruce Woodburn. I am the Lone Ranger. I'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Lone Ranger radio show. Don't go anywhere.